At it again tonight. You're too small to handle real responsibilities. They didn't even whisper it. They threw it across the dinner table like a hammer, and it landed on me just like they wanted. Before we begin, drop a comment and tell us where are you from and from which city you're watching our videos. And after watching the whole video, don't forget to tell us, what would you do in this situation? Be honest, tell me in the comments below. We read every comment. Let's begin. I sat there, quiet, because what was the point? My dad's voice was sharp, like he wanted to break something in me. My mom didn't even bother hiding her smirk. She added, "You've always been delicate, Avery. Fragile. You don't need to carry heavy burdens. It's not who you are. Do you know what it feels like to have the people who raised you call you weak? Not once, not twice, but your whole life." I gripped my wine glass so tightly I thought it would shatter. But I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I let their words hang in the air because I knew something they didn't. The clock was ticking. And midnight was coming. Noah, my husband, my partner in everything, squeezed my hand under the table. He didn't have to say anything. His eyes told me what I already knew. Hold steady. Avery, you've already won. They had no idea that the small, fragile daughter they mocked was about to close the biggest tech merger of the year. At 12:07 a.m., while the city slept, every major business outlet broke the headline, Helix Link and North Peak Systems merge, billion-dollar deal signed by Avery Lane and Noah Reed. I just sat there in our penthouse living room, staring at the screen, my heart racing, my phone buzzing like it was about to explode. They told me I was too small. And yet here I was, signing something so massive it would ripple across the entire tech world. That was the moment I realized. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer you can give. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Headlines, investor calls, congratulatory messages from people who once ghosted me. My inbox was a wildfire, but none of it rattled me the way the knock at the door did. It was just after 9 a.m. Noah was in the kitchen, pouring coffee. I was still in my robe, hair tied back, scrolling through one article after another that had my name bolded in headlines. Then, 3 sharp knocks. I looked at Noah. He didn't even need to check the security camera. He already knew. His jaw tightened as he set his mug down. "It's them," he said flatly. I walked to the door anyway. My stomach twisted when I peeked through the frosted glass. There they were, my parents. Richard and Diane Lane, standing on the polished concrete entryway, like actors who had rehearsed their lines all night. My dad was holding a bouquet of lilies. My mom was dressed as if she was heading to a luncheon, not to see the daughter she'd called fragile less than 24 hours earlier. Noah stepped behind me, his hand firm on the door handle. "You don't have to do this," he murmured. But I pressed my palm to the glass just to steady myself. My mother leaned in, trying to peer past the door. Her voice carried, muffled but clear enough. "Avery, sweetheart, we're so proud of you. We misjudged you. Can we come in? We just want to talk." The way she said proud nearly made me laugh. Because it wasn't pride, it was desperation. Then my father's voice cut in. His tone wasn't sweet, wasn't apologetic. It was commanding, as if he still thought he had power over me. "Emily." He used my childhood nickname, the one that always made me feel smaller. "Open the door. Let us in. We need to celebrate. Celebrate." That was the word he chose. Not apologize, not listen. Celebrate. I felt Noah's grip tighten on the handle, not to open it, but to make sure it stayed shut. He looked at me, waiting for my call. His eyes were calm, steady, reminding me that this choice wasn't about them. It was about me. And for the first time in years, I wasn't the little girl begging for their approval. I was the woman who had signed a billion-dollar deal. I took a breath, my voice steady. "Noah, keep the door closed." Through the glass, I watched my father's expression shift. His jaw twitched. He wasn't used to being denied. He spoke louder now, trying to make his voice sound warm but failing. "Avery, listen. We were wrong. You've proven yourself. You're not small. You're not fragile. You've shown us you can handle real responsibilities. So, let's put everything behind us. We're family. Family. The word rolled around in my head like a cruel joke. Where was family when I was burning myself out, coding for 18 hours a day, eating instant noodles because every cent went into Helix Link? Where was family when I called home just to hear encouragement, and instead got told I should marry rich instead of trying to build something myself? They weren't here. They never were. And now, because the headlines screamed my name, they suddenly remembered they had a daughter. I turned to Noah. My throat was tight, but my decision was clear. They don't get to walk in now. Not after everything. He nodded once, and without hesitation, he held the door firmly shut. My mother's smile faltered. She tried again, her voice higher now, almost desperate. Avery, please. We're sorry. We just didn't know. But now we see who you are. We're proud of you. We want to be part of your life again. Her words should have felt like balm. Instead, they stung worse than the insults. Because it wasn't real. It was convenience. I pressed my forehead against the door for just a moment and whispered, more to myself than to them. You only see me now because the world does. Then I raised my voice. Calm. Cold. Final. Go home. You told me I was too small. You told me I couldn't handle real responsibilities. You don't get to rewrite that today. Not with flowers. My dad stiffened, his face hardening behind the glass. For the first time, he looked powerless. My mom tugged his sleeve, but he resisted for a second before finally stepping back. Noah and I stood there, silent as they walked away, my mom glancing back one last time, my dad refusing to turn around. The flowers slipped from his grip and hit the sidewalk, petals scattering. I closed my eyes. For years, I thought the only way I'd ever feel whole was if they finally said, "We're proud of you." But standing there, watching them walk away while Noah held me steady, I realized something different. I didn't need their pride. I had my own, and for the first time in my life, that was enough. I thought ignoring them at the door would be the end of it. I was wrong. By noon, I had 3 missed calls, 4 voicemails, and a dozen texts. My mom's tone shifted in every message, sweet, pleading, guilt-tripping. My dad's words were shorter, colder, but no less desperate. We need to talk. This isn't how families act. You owe us that much. Owe them? That word gnawed at me, because that's how it always was with them. I owed them gratitude, respect, obedience, even when what they gave me in return was doubt and humiliation. By evening, I knew I couldn't avoid them forever. Not because I needed them, but because for once, I wanted to look them in the eye as the woman they had said I'd never be. Noah wasn't thrilled when I told him. He leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed, his dark eyes steady on mine. Avery, you don't need to explain yourself to them. You don't owe them a performance. I know, I said softly, but I need to say it. Not for them. For me? He studied me for a long moment, then nodded. Then I'll be right there with you. We met them the next night in a downtown restaurant. The kind of place my parents loved. White tablecloths, chandeliers, quiet enough that whispered judgments carried across the